All right, guys, so today we're going to do a basic guitar lesson where I'm going to teach you 3 chords that you can play all by yourself. Now, before we do get started with that, I'm going to teach you the different strings of the guitar and some of the different parts that you need to know about. Now, the strings are numbered from the bottom all the way up to the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, every sound that a guitar makes gets assigned a note. So this one here, that sound is an E. So this is called the low E string. Now this one on the bottom makes the same note, but higher. That's a high E string. So the first string is a high E, the second string is a B, the third string is a G, the fourth string is a D, the fifth string is an A, and then this one is an E, like I said earlier. Now, your guitar may be out of tune if you haven't played it in a while. So whenever you play a chord, it may not sound great like this. So what we're gonna do is, if you have a phone or your parents have a phone, you can go on the App Store, and I use an app called Guitar Tuna. And it accesses your microphone, and you will play every string, and it's got the different notes on the side right up there, like I just told you, the different notes of the guitar. And so you'll play one, and it's gonna show you where you're at. And so for the top row of tuners up here, whenever you play it, if you spin it away from you, then it's going to make it lower. And so you want to bring it up to where it turns green. After it turns green, it's going to highlight the letter in green, and you know that that string is in tune. So we'll do that for all of them, and you can do it along with. That's the A string tuned up. Now the D string is in tune. And that's the G string in tune. The B string's in tune. And now they're all in tune. So now whenever you play a chord, it'll sound like this. Much better. All right. Now the first 3 chords that I'm going to teach you are going to be a G chord, which sounds like this, a D chord, which sounds like this, and a C chord, which sounds like this. All right. So for the G chord, you're going to take your fingers, and we're going to call them 1, 2, 3, and 4. Those are your fingers. Okay. So on the guitar, you've got different frets, and frets are going to be the space in between these metal pieces on the neck. So this one with the dot is called the 3rd fret. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that goes all the way up. So we're going to take our 3rd finger and put it on the 1st string, the high E, on the 3rd fret. Then we're going to take our 1st finger, and we're going to put this on the A string, or the 5th string, on the 2nd fret right up there. And then we're going to take our 2nd finger and put that on the 3rd fret of the top string, which is the low E. And then you'll have to press down really hard, and you'll get a sound that should be something like this. All right, so we'll try that again. Take our fingers off. We're going to go up, 3rd finger, 3rd fret of the bottom string, 1st finger, 2nd fret of the 5th string, and then the 3rd finger up on the 3rd fret of the top string. All right, now we'll take it off and do it one more time. So 3rd finger, 3rd fret of the low string, 1st finger, 5th string on the 2nd fret, and then the 2nd finger on the 3rd fret of the top string. And that's the G chord. All right. Now we'll move down to a D chord. A D chord is shaped something like this, and that's the sound that it makes. So for this chord, we're going to take our 2nd finger right here and put it on the very bottom string on the 2nd fret. Then we're going to take our 3rd finger here, and we'll put it on the 3rd fret of the string just right above it, and that's the B string. Then we'll take our 1st finger, we're going to put it just one more string up back on the 2nd fret, so we get a shape like that. okay? Now, whenever you play this chord, you don't want to play this string because it doesn't sound as good. So what you may want to do, if you're able to, is actually take your thumb and just touch the top string so that it's silent, okay? So you'll just barely touch it and it'll make it to where it doesn't make a sound. And then you strum the rest and it sounds like that. So we'll make it one more time right here. We got the second finger on the second fret of the high E string or the first string. And then we got the third finger on the third fret of the second string, and then the first finger on the second fret of the third string. And that's a D. And remember, just barely touch the top string with your thumb to mute it, and then that's the D. Okay? Now the last chord that we're going to learn today is called a C chord. And the C chord sounds like this. All right? So the way that we'll make this one is here on the second string, you'll put your first finger on the first fret of the second string, right there. All right? Then we'll take our second finger and put that here on the second fret of the fourth string. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's our D, right there on the second fret. Then we'll take our third finger and we're going to put that all the way up here on the third fret of the fifth string, just right there. And then again, just like the D, we want to take our thumb and barely touch the top string so that it doesn't make a noise. And then we'll play it, and it should sound something like that. All right, so we'll make it one more time. First finger on the first fret of this second string right here. Second finger goes on the second fret of the fourth string right here. And then third finger goes on the third fret of the fifth string right there. And then remember to take the thumb and just touch the top string so that it doesn't make a sound. And then you've got a C chord. Okay? Then after you practice those a bunch, you need to work on transitioning. So a good way to practice that would be to make it, let's say we make a G, then we take it off, and then make a G again. And then we'll take it off, and we'll make a G again. Okay? Then we'll take it off, and we'll make a D. Then we'll take the D back off, and then put it back on. Take it back off, put it back on. And then we'll go to the C. We'll take it off, put it on. We'll take it off, put it back on, take it off, put it back on. And then we need to practice going from G to D to C. And so there's 3 basic chords for you to practice while you're at home. Thanks.